Hey kids, how knowledgeable are you about the creative process? Sure, you know how to think through the process. You showed this when you made decisions that helped you draw yourself as an animal. And also, when you captured small moments and different perspectives in photography. But what if I asked you to explain all the parts of the process to your parents? Or to your friends? Do you think you could do it?
No, really, Mr. Pete? I can't do that.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. It sounds like we've got some thinking to do. What I'd like you to make is a PowerPoint that explains the important parts of the creative process, using pictures and words. There are 5 parts of the process. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you'll probably want about 5 slides in your PowerPoint, plus 1 more slide at the beginning as a title, like the creative process. I've printed off some important vocabulary to help you build your knowledge and understanding. Here it is right here. Goes through all the parts of the process. Imagine, examine, perceive, explore, experiment, develop craft, create, reflect, assess, and finally, revise and share. So that'll help you think through some of the words that you want to include in your PowerPoint. I'll show you an example of how I might get started. To get started with my PowerPoint, I'm going to need that picture of the creative process. I can go to Dropmark and go in and find the creative process. Click on that. 2 fingers, I push down, and I can copy the image. Then I can open up my PowerPoint, and I can paste my image in there. Alright, so I've got the first part. There's my first slide, the creative process with all the pieces. So which part might I want to focus on first? Maybe I'll go with this one up here. So the first word I want to get is imagine. So I'm going to need a new slide. So I can go over here and click on new slide, and I'll take a blank one. And here we go. There's my new slide. The text I'm going to need is imagine. So I can put it down here. And what does imagine mean to me? Over here in my notes it says, or in my vocabulary sheet it says, to think about something and create a picture or idea in your mind. So imagine to me means to create a picture in your mind. Okay, there we go, to create a picture in my mind. I can make this a little bit bigger so I can see it a little bit easier. And there it is there. To create a picture in my mind. Shrink that back down a little bit. Remember, I'm not decorating. I'm trying to get good information on here, and if I get finished early, I can always add a little bit more to decorate. Now I need to go find an image or a picture of what imagine means. So if we're focusing on the word imagine, we can go ahead and type that into Google search. You type in imagine, and we end up getting these kind of pictures. And you have to think in metaphors. What does imagine mean to you? If you're trying to picture something in your head or create an idea in your head into a picture, what might that look like to you? This is probably a pretty good one right here. We've got this little girl right here, and she's thinking, and there's lots of things popping up in her head. She's trying to imagine things. She can't actually see a spaceship or see a planet, but she's imagining what they might look like in her head. So we can go over to View Image, and we can go 2 fingers, we can copy that image, and we can take it over to our PowerPoint, and we can go 2 fingers again, paste, and there we have, in this part of the process, imagine, to create a picture in my mind. So this helps explain this one part of the process. Now there's 3 other words that are in that part. So can you come up with an understanding for what examine means and perceive? Do you understand what those mean? Again, you can go over here and see, well, examine means to think about a creative problem carefully so you understand it and can think about what you know and what else you need to learn about. Perceive means to use all of your senses to understand a creative problem. So think about those words that it's using to help you think of a metaphor. Use all of your senses to understand a creative problem. You can go back into Google search and you can search for those words and see if you can find some good pictures or good metaphors that can help you explain the creative process. When you're creating your creative process presentation, make sure you talk to friends. Do they understand what you're creating on each of those pages? Does it make sense to them? When you're finished, we'll print off some of the pages that explain the creative process the best, and we'll post them up. So it doesn't matter if other kids come in here or parents come in here, we can use this to help explain the creative process. Have fun creating your slideshow and building your knowledge of the creative process. Looking forward to seeing them. Remember, when you're searching on Google, be careful how far you scroll down. Okay? Be safe when you're searching for images. Have fun.